welcome to Patio Chat, except I'm not on the patio, I'm in the barnyard, and instead of my mom we had Maverick. There's Houdini. Say hi, Houdini. There's been a few changes to my world since the last time I filmed, and those changes include some beautiful, wonderful alpacas which are surrounding me, and I wish Bo would. There's Bo. Bo gives hugs. So yeah, there's been a few changes here, and also my mom won't be in this video, but she does plan to be in future videos. She got hurt early in September, and she was actually just getting an MRI this morning, and she's had a concussion, a lot of things going on, so she won't be in this video, but she has been. Oh my goodness, Leroy, you scared me. But I figured the boys would make up for it, right, Bo? Bo, can you give a hug right now? No, we're gonna scratch our neck. And what a long and lovely neck you have, Bodacious. That's Tabasco right there. But let's get right to it, and they'll just be around. And I was gonna bring pellets out, but then I realized this would become a whole other video where I am just engulfed in alpacas. And oh my goodness, Tabasco, you scared me. It looks like you're coming out of my shoulder. Where's Tabasco? There he is. Okay. Oh, and I know pink isn't my usual color here, but today is October 3rd, which is Mean Girls Day, and it's landing on a Wednesday, and as you might already know, on Wednesdays we wear pink, so had to commemorate it. Let's talk about General Hospital, because let me tell you, there's just been a lot of things going on, and I have thoughts on all of it. But the first thing I want to talk about is this whole Nina's daughter being alive, which I am thrilled and happy about, and I've wanted for years, just absolute years. But in my world, and in a lot of other people's world, ideally Kiki would be her daughter, which I could definitely see. I mean, it would explain so much. It would explain how poorly Ava treats her. More on that later. Where Tabasco, there's Tabasco. Okay, it would explain how poorly Ava treats her. Sasha being Nina's daughter, I don't know how I feel about that, just because I want so badly for it to be Kiki, and there's 100% positive result that it's Sasha right now, but that could be a false positive, we don't know. What do you think about that? Are you okay with it being this third party person, or would you love to see Kiki be Nina's daughter? Because there could be a connection there. I mean, they have had interaction before. The main reason Nina didn't really like Kiki was because Franco was like a father to her, and Nina wanted to have a child with him, and he didn't want that, and that was ultimately the cause to their whole breakup. But independently, Nina has no issue with Kiki, and with Kiki doing the Crimson story, it could bring them into the same sphere. I would just love in my heart of hearts if they could make this that Kiki is Nina's daughter. Logistically, it makes sense. Ava Jerome was in that picture. I could see it happening. I feel like Timon. I can see what's happening, and they don't have a clue. They don't watch TV, and they're fairly new here, so they don't know what I do. Nailed it, right, Leroy? I can't remember what I'm pretty sure last time we talked, Nell was just caught, or maybe she wasn't caught at all. I, of course, miss Chloe Lanier. She was very talented, but I am glad that we are able to kind of move forward. Hi, Coolaroo. What's this? What's this, Coolaroo? I like how they're all coming out of my shoulder. I feel like that alien Johnny Knoxville played in Men in Black 2 with the version of him coming out of his shoulder. Coolaroo. See? Look. Okay. Yeah, just look at me judgmentally. Speaking of Nell and all of that, the Wiley diagnosis with the heart condition that Michael happened to have when he was a kid. Well, when he was a baby, actually. When Michael mentioned Wiley's diagnosis in front of Jason, because him and Carly were talking about it, Jason kind of it felt like something kind of clicked there, and I think Jason might be suspicious, which I'm so glad, right, Leroy? Leroy's looking at me, because honestly, the faster that this Wiley Jonah mix up gets solved, the happier I'll be, happier Coolaroo will be, just everyone will just have a weight off their shoulder, because this isn't fair to so many people involved. I'll even go so far as to say including Brad himself, because he was in the most vulnerable of positions when Nell got her hooks into him, and that split decision he made out of pure emotion is now haunting him in a more now he's in his right mind again. I mean, obviously, ideally, he should just tell the truth, even though we're so far down this path. But like, a part of me does feel for him, because he's another victim of Nell. He's, you know, making his own path here, so he's also should be held accountable for the own issues he's making. Sonny, Vincent Marino, the gun, Mike, all of this situation, and the DA being confirmed to be the daughter of the Charlie's Pub victim. I think it adds another element to the storyline that we haven't really seen, because I think like the last really hard against Sonny DA we've seen, I'd say, would be Claire Walsh. Although there could be, I mean, I know they haven't done, well, that's not true. Sonny did get put away for murder. But Margot Dawson, to me, she's very reminiscent of Claire Walsh, just without that emotional factor when it comes to Sonny. So I think we're really seeing what Claire Walsh could have been had that left turn not been taken. And it does add another element to, because it's not just a clear-cut murder, it's the murder of my father. So I'm interested to see where the storyline goes, and I am really excited for it. And again, me and my mom both, she's not here, but we both really been very emotionally involved and very supportive of the storyline that they're doing with Mike. It's very similar to what we went through, and it just, especially they're talking about the adult daycare. My grandfather, he's the one who had Alzheimer's. He did go to an adult daycare that's a little bit a ways from us, and he enjoyed it there. He did, and it's just, it's very, I know a lot of people who are watching this storyline do have experience with Alzheimer's, so the job they're doing with it is just absolutely amazing and just really heartfelt, and I just have literally all the praise in the world for it. So does Coolaroo. The wagging of the tail, all the praise in the world. One Coolaroo tail wag, highest praise. Peter is getting a chance to rebuild his life. He's bought the Invader with Valentine's money, and he wants to change it into something else. The Invader didn't have the best reputation, and he wants to turn it into something with a reputation, and that is a reputable source. And I think that kind of what he's doing with the Invader is paralleling what he's doing with himself. So by building up the Invader, he's building himself up, and I'm glad that Lulu did come on board, because I think she's a good person to help turn the Invader into a reputable news source, or as reputable as it's going to be. You know, give it those elements that make it readable and not just make it a gossip magazine. And I'm just glad that everyone's kind of, well, not everyone, but for the most part, everyone in Peter's immediate circle is opening their mind back up and seeing the situation for a whole and not targeting him. So as much as I hate what Obrecht did to him, I think ultimately it made people reassess how they see him. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? Although that went on a really long time. And the fact that we're seeing them now address PTSD, I just think they've really made a good habit of taking the storylines and then branching them out into longer elements. Ava has pretty much totally torn down Griffin's life at this point, and that's not to say that Griffin didn't do anything wrong. It's complicated. Her calling the church and like turning him in, I'm not really familiar with all that process, to be totally upfront with you. As an outsider looking in, it does feel like there was a line that was definitely crossed there, no pun intended. Her and Kiki got into it again. This is Leroy. He's the one who's been over here distracting me, right, Leroy? So, little aside, so his name is Leroy Brown, and the people we got him from did name him after Bad Leroy Brown. And it wasn't until after we committed to getting him that I said to my mom, I was like, should we ask how he got that name? And she was like, oh, you know, I can make a whole video with them later, but yes, he is named after Bad Leroy Brown, and he has lived up to that name a few times while he's been here, but he is a sweetheart. He's 1.5. He's going to be 2 in November. If you want a video about them, let me know, because I really want to expand on them, and I just thought that'd be a fun way to introduce them, because they are my sons. I love them. But Ava, this whole thing, I can understand being hurt. They did something that would hurt her. I'm not saying she shouldn't feel hurt. I'm just saying, it's not like she hasn't done worse to Kiki. As two different people. She cheated with Morgan as two different people, mind you. And the fact that she's even been made aware of this and she still wants to just push forward with her vendetta. And it's like, I mean, at what point do you just chalk it up to, I'm hurt, but I won't try to sabotage your lives? Like, but you know, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times, so I'm not going to talk about this a lot. For those of you who are fans for Ava, what's your take on this whole situation, especially with how she's been treating Griffin and Kiki? And okay, I just want to say one more thing and then I'm going to move on. If she had called the hospital because she had legitimate concerns that he had run this paternity test against Peter's will, or she had legitimate concerns about how he was conducting himself and that's why she called the priesthood, I would have no problem with her turning him in for both of those things. It's that it comes from a place of maliciousness and not a place of legitimate concern. That's my issue. Because yes, I mean, again, I can't really talk for the church thing because I don't know, but according to him, he has been acting somewhat out of turn, even though it wasn't like a purposeful thing. Again, if it was legitimate concern, fine, go for it. But since it's maliciousness, no. That's my stance on that. Ryan and Kevin. Ooh, not a fan of Ryan and Kevin. All right, now we know. Why are you all leaving? We're a family. I'm loving the storyline. I have to say, it's different. And now, I know we did have the Anna twin thing 2 years ago, but this Kevin Ryan thing, I mean, it's an evil twin soap opera storyline. I'm into it. Is it a little classic? Sure. Does it mean I don't want it? No. I'm interested. As far as this is different. It's a change of pace, and I am totally looking forward to seeing where it goes. I'm concerned. I have to say, I'm extremely concerned for the people involved, but I am interested to see where it goes. That everyone can tell something's off with Kevin, but as far as they're concerned, Ryan's dead. And by the way, I want to go look for clips. If I find any, I'll let you know, because as long as they're going to revisit the Ryan Chamberlain storyline, I want to get myself acquainted with the Ryan Chamberlain storyline. I'm going to end it, I guess, on a somber note, but then I'm going to talk about the schedule that I want to institute for this channel. So stay tuned. Oscar, and his illness. So I really hope we don't see the end of Oscar. I don't want to lose Oscar. I think he's a good kid. I was devastated when we lost Rafe. I really liked him too. And I think that would be a horrible thing for Jocelyn to go through, to lose him. And I really hope they find a way to, if not totally save him, at least give him time. What can you say for a storyline like that? I mean, they're pulling out all the stops. Do I agree? I have mixed feelings about what Kim did because I understand her intentions, but sometimes the best intentions still lead to people getting hurt, and especially when it's something as serious as that. But obviously 2 years ago, if he's 15 now, he would have been what, like 13? I don't know. You know, I don't feel like there's a definite right answer here. I mean, I know we're probably all seeing this from very different perspectives, so I don't think anyone is necessarily wrong when it comes, whether you agree with her wholeheartedly or you disagree with her wholeheartedly. I feel like there is no real right answer here. But now that he knows, what do we do? And I think pursuing the trial, I mean, it seems like that's the only thing really you can do at this point, so I wholeheartedly support that. And it's good. I feel like the next few months are going to be really tough when it comes to this storyline, but ultimately GH really has been really nailing it with especially the health concern storylines, so I'm invested. I'm invested to see where this goes, no matter where it comes out at the end. So now that I've ended on that somber note, let's talk schedule. So we did plan to do more frequent uploads this summer. All the boys are gone. Where I want to take this channel moving forward is I would like to do weekly recaps, upload them on the weekends. That's originally kind of what Patio Chat was going to be, mixed between talk show and recap, but I really do want to nail that down, whether it's just me or it's the two of us. And I want to continue that schedule through 2019 and through the foreseeable future of this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next weekend for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye. Say bye.